So how do you discover your talents? You just look at the opportunities that are put in front of you. Many years ago, I had an opportunity to speak in front of a group. Probably, 30 years ago, I had an opportunity to speak in front of a group. And up until then, I thought speaking in front of a group was worse than dying. And also, I went in front of that group, and I enjoyed it, and I got a message across, and I knew something was different. And God had just put me in that position to take advantage of it. From then on, I said, you know what, this could be one of my missions. We have a mission. One of my missions is to get information across that will help people become better, help them grow, help them do what they want to do in their life, provide for their families at a different level than they have been. So at that point, I started developing what's my mission statement. So I'll read it to you. My mission statement: to live in a heartfelt, caring way while helping others reach their full God-given potential. So I want to live in a heartfelt, caring way, and I want to help people reach their God-given potential. It's very interesting. That potential became, before Maxwell mentioned potential this weekend, that's been my mission statement I've been carrying around probably for 20-some years. So now what I do, I know what my mission statement is. What is your mission statement? Then what I do is I look for opportunities to do what? Share I know what my mission statement is. Now, what opportunities do I have to live my mission statement? So then, like I said, coaching. I've done 20,000 coaching calls. Probably 21 or 22,000 coaching calls. It means I've been on the phone with realtors for 10 or 11,000 hours. I have wonderful opportunities to minister. I have wonderful opportunities to be my mission, to help them be better, to help them provide for their families in a different way. And then just before I moved to Texas, my trainer that I had was also a pastor. I thought it was a unique concept. A bodybuilder, minister. And it's really interesting because he was getting ready to start a church. And he said, would I be interested in being on his board? And I said, yes, I would. And because I felt I had something to offer a church in the beginning stages of building. Because that's what I do. I help people build their businesses. So, then God worked in mysterious ways. I was reading a book called Fasting. And I wanted to do the fast. It was Jensen Franklin and his church in
Gainesville.
It's in Atlanta, outside of Atlanta. Gainesville, that's right. I knew it was like something in Florida. It was Gainesville, Georgia, and it's called Free Chapel. So I said, okay, I'm looking for somebody that in Austin that's going to do the 21-day fast. You fast 21 days starting in January. So 3 weeks after I finished the book, I get a card from Free Chapel in Austin, Texas. So I immediately picked up the card, called the number on the card, and Jeremy answered the phone, and I said, do you do the 21-day fast? And what was your answer?
We start in 2 months.
We start in 2 months. We start on, that year was January 9th. They were still at the movie theater. Things have grown, and I'm helping Jeremy by being on his board. And so, you know what? When you have that talent and you want to get it out, let people know. Let God know that you're interested in doing that. And He'll start providing for you. So, and I just told Jeremy, I said, this was not accidental. This was all laid out. And then I said, because I asked him, I said, are you part of Free Chapel in Gainesville, Georgia? He said, no. I said, do you know who Jensen Franklin is? I said, yes. Are you doing the 21-day fast? Yes. Great. When do you meet? And I started going there in January of that year. So we have the talents. We just have to look for it. And then decide, what do I want to take to the world? How do I want to help people? How do I want to honor God with my talents? How do I want to thank Him Because what did he say in the parable? If you don't use it, he what? He'll put you out. Use it, multiply it. Maxwell is using his talents by getting 1,000 people to take his message, because Maxwell said, I only can be in what? One place at a time. And he attempts to be at a lot of one places at a time. I mean, he did a program with us Friday morning. He was with us till 2 o'clock. Got on an airplane, flew to Houston, got up, did a presentation in Houston, accepted an award, flew back, was back in, we were in Palm Beach, Florida, where he lives, was back at 3 o'clock in the morning and back on stage at 10 o'clock that morning. And John's not a young man. John's 64 years old. And he says, that's my mission. That's the talent I have. I just have to get it. So I'm going to teach 1,000 people to do what I do so that I can multiply by what? 1,000. Because he says, I'm not really talking to 1,000 people in this room. How many am I talking to?
1 million.
500,000? 1 million? 2 million? 3 million? 10 million people? They were from all over the world. I had at my table somebody from Vietnam, Malaysia, Australia, Hong Kong, Shanghai. And some of those people were at John, as if you've ever been around John Maxwell, he's a preacher first and a guru on leadership second. And he did his service, he did a service on Sunday. And like every good pastor would do, he gave everybody an opportunity to accept Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior. And he told a story a couple days later. It was a fairly expensive program. And if you paid it all up front, you got to go to a reception at his house. And he has a very nice swimming pool on a river. What's the river in?
It's the Intercoastal.
Well, he's on that little river that goes into the Intercoastal.
Oh, it's
a big long name.
in Jupiter, yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah. Anyway, he's on the river and he has a swimming pool. And the last night, the last reception, some lady dared him to jump in the pool with his clothes on. So John jumps in the pool with all his clothes on. The lady jumps in, and John says, I popped out of the water after jumping in, all I could hear was splashes everywhere. Probably about 25 people from the party just started jumping in the pool with their clothes on. The interesting thing was, though, a gentleman walked up to him and said, John, I accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior Sunday morning. Will you baptize me? How powerful is that? John just being John, doing his thing, helped someone find Jesus Christ. So we never know when that opportunity is put in front of us. So, we have to just get in touch with our God-given talents. This is an article written by a college student. She says, ever since I was a little girl, I loved opening new books. I believe God gives us our talents and helps us find ways to use them. In my case, reading has brought me to a lot of joy and has also broadened my imagination. This, in turn, has helped me improve my own writing ideas. Through writing and reading, God has guided me to a place where I can showcase and work on my passion. God granted me this talent just as he granted a quarterback the ability to throw a football or an actress to the love of theater. God gives everyone unique abilities and also grants them opportunities to enhance their gifts. Our lives grow to the extent that we do. Our talents have to be grown. They just can't be stuck in the ground like the one talent. We have to get out and grow our abilities. We have to grow our talents.